If I ask you to bow down to a street lamp, would you do that? Probably no, because you know that it's just a street lamp. It's an object. Then let me ask, why do millions of people bow down to the sun every morning? The sun is just a bigger lamp. It's a ball of gas. It's a creation, not the creator. For a yogi, the Surya Namaskar or sun salutation is the most popular sequence. But for a monotheist, a Muslim, a Christian, or a Jew, this name presents a massive problem. Is it a workout? Or is it an act of shirk or act of polytheism? Let's settle this once and for all. Let's look at the linguistics. Surya means sun. Namaskar comes from the word namas, which means to pray, to pay homage, or to worship. In the traditional yoga context, it is not just stretching. It is a ritual. It is traditionally performed with 12 specific mantras, addressing the sun as a divine entity, as a giver of life. Now, if you believe in one God, you believe in La ilaha illallah. That means there is no other God but one. You simply cannot perform Surya Namaskar or sun salutation as it is performed with rituals and mantras. You cannot bow to the creation because there is no flexible version of monotheism. The moment you bow to the sun with reverence, you have crossed the line into shirk. You have committed spiritual suicide. Does that mean this sequence of movement is evil? Let's find it out. Probably you have been told that Surya Namaskar is a 5,000-year-old Vedic ritual. You have been told that the ancient sages performed the exact sequence in the Himalayas to worship the sun god. I'm sorry to break your heart, but that is a lie, a fabrication, a modern myth. This is the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, known as the Bible of classical yoga. You cannot show me Surya Namaskara here. Patanjali never mentions it, not even once. And this is Bhagavad Gita. Show me why Krishna tells Arjuna to do plank or cobra to worship the sun. It is not here either. Even in Hatha Yoga Pradipika, the manual for physical yoga from the Middle Age, there is no mention of Surya Namaskara. So, if the sages didn't do it, if the scriptures don't mention it, where the hell did it come from? Traditionalists often point to a famous legend to justify the divinity of this sequence. Usually they tell the story of great Hanuman, a figure of immense strength and devotion. Here I would like to make one thing very clear, that I do have respect to them who have faith and belief on the great Hanuman. My intention is not at all to hurt their feelings. Let's come to this story. The legends say that the mother of great Hanuman wanted him to learn from the sun god. So he moved across the heavens, face to face with the sun's chariot to gain knowledge. Some claim that Surya Namaskara is a tribute to the divine lesson. As a piece of mythology, it is a story of incredible dedication. But we have to be honest. A symbolic narrative is not a blueprint for human anatomy. A story of divine being flying across the sky is a matter of faith, not a matter of biomechanics. We can surely respect the culture and tradition of others. And we should. But we cannot use poetry to justify health regime. We can respect a culture's traditions without confusing a symbolic story for a scientific fact. When you are looking to fix your posture, to regulate your heart rate, or strengthen your core, you do not need a miracle story. You need physics. We are not here to argue with the ancient legends. We are here to look at the human body as it is today. Let us leave the stories to the poet and keep the science for our health. Meet this man, the Raja of Aundh. In 1928, he published a book called The 10-Point Way to Health. It was not a religious scripture, it was a health manual. He based the sequence on traditional Indian wrestling moves called Dunds. In Sanskrit, Dand means staff or stick. These were power building push-ups used for centuries by wrestlers to build a warrior's physique. They had nothing to do with spiritual enlightenment. They were about raw physical strength. Later, in the 1930s, at the Mysore Palace, the legendary teacher Krishnamacharya saw these sun salutations being taught in the gymnasium. He realized this dynamic flow was perfect for the restless energy of the youth. So he merged the restless Dund with yogic stretching. Surya Namaskar is a 20th century invention, a brilliant mashup of wrestling, gymnastics, and yoga. It is a physical exercise designed for strength and stamina. It is not an ancient divine commandment. The religious mantra layer was added later to give it a holy packaging. They took a set of physical movement and sold them back to you as holy and in many cases compulsory ritual. It was wrapped in divinity to make it sellable to the spiritual audience, to the spiritual customers. Let us pause the theology for a second and look at the anatomy. What is the sequence actually doing? You stretch your hamstring, you strengthen your spine, you activate your core, and you pump oxygen into your lungs. Does your hamstring know that the sequence is named after the sun god? Of course not. Does your spine care about the Sanskrit mantras? No. Biologically, this is one of the most complete cardiovascular and full body workouts ever designed. It is a brilliant piece of biomechanics. The problem is not the movement. The problem is the label, the name. Imagine I give you this bottle of water, pure, clean water, but I put a label on it that says pure water of Zeus. As a monotheist, you will not drink it. It is not because the water is dirty. It is because the label conflicts with your faith. If you know that Zeus was the king of ancient Greek gods. But what if I rip this label off? Now it is just water. It hydrates you. It keeps you alive. It is a gift from the Creator. Surya Namaskar is exactly like this bottle of water. The sequence is the water and the name Surya Namaskar is the label. At Mono Yoga, we do not throw away the water. We rip off the label. We refuse to bow to the sun. We refuse to call it Surya Namaskar. We acknowledge that the sun is the servant of God, appearing and disappearing at his command, making the day and the night. We perform the sequence to keep our body, the house of the soul, healthy, so that we can worship the one Creator. So what do we call it? Call it the morning flow, call it the vitality sequence, call it the energy booster, or simply call it the salutation to the Creator. When you go into that forward fold, your intention is not to greet the sun. Your intention is to stretch the spine that God gave you. When you rise up, you are not thanking the sun for the light. You are thanking the one who created the light. Don't let a name stop you from living healthy, but don't let a workout compromise your faith. Change the name, change the intention, and keep the movement. This is how we separate science from superstition. But wait, there is more. In one of the next videos, I will expose how this simple exercise was used as a political tool to push a specific nationalistic agenda. You don't want to miss that. This is Gazee. Welcome to Logic. Welcome to Science. Welcome to Mono Yoga. Subscribe.